Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start here again, and we're going to do the cosine rule. This time we're looking for a missing angle, and we know we're looking for a missing angle because the angle is obviously not given. So just so you can see why we're using the cosine rule, if we look at this, we obviously try and make things as easy as possible for ourselves. So we start off with the easy ones and make our way down to the hardest one. So leaving our trig, angles in a triangle equal 180. That won't help me here because I don't know any of the angles. Okay, 90-degree triangles. So 90-degree triangles are Pythagoras' theorem and trig ratios, but obviously I have no 90-degree there, so I can't use Pythagoras' theorem or trig ratios in this question, right? The next one is the area of a triangle. Will that help me here? It won't, because I don't know the area of this triangle, so it's of no benefit to me at all. The sine rule is next, and we know that when we're using the sine rule, we have to have a side opposite an angle. So we have a pair there, but we need a second pair to be able to get our two fractions. So we'll have too many unknowns there, so we won't be able to pair them up because we'll have two unknowns there. If we pair this one and this one, we'd have two unknowns. We'd have this one unknown and this one unknown, so we'd have too many unknowns, so we can't use the sine rule. So that means by a process of elimination, we have to use the cosine rule. Okay, so we'll get going there at the cosine rule. And the cosine rule says that a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos of a. Okay, so next thing we need to do is we need to label the triangle. We always start by labeling the angle that we have. So in this case, we're going to label the angle. So we're going to call the angle A. So the opposite side is going to be A. And then we'll have B and we'll have C. Okay, so it doesn't matter which one we put in as B and C. Okay, so it doesn't matter which one we put in as B or C. What does matter is the one that's A, and A is always opposite the angle that's given. Okay, so we can now fill in the formula. So to fill in the formula, what we need to do is just fill in what we have. So in this case, we'll start off with A squared, which is 6 to B squared. So 6 squared is equal to B squared, which in this case is going to be 5. So 5 squared plus C squared. In this case, C is equal to 8. So I can say 8 to B squared minus 2 times B, which is 5. So I'm multiplying that, so I put it into brackets. And I'm multiplying that by C, so I can put 8 into brackets. And that's being multiplied by cos of the angle, and the angle in this case is going to be M. So once we fill everything in, now we can see here, this obviously represents a number, represents a number, represents a number. I can work out these numbers here, but obviously cos of A, there's nothing I can do with that. So I'm going to have to just simplify everything I can, and I'll deal with that when it comes to it, right? So we'll start off by simplifying this by saying 6 squared is going to give us 36, is equal to 5 squared, which gives you 25, plus 8 squared, which gives you 64. Okay, next thing that we need to do is we need to multiply these out. So 2 times 10 is, or 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 8 is 80. So I get negative 80 cos of A. Okay, negative 80 cos of A. We'll just go over the last step there. We squared this and we got 36. We squared this, we got 25. We squared this, we got 64. And then we multiply these. So 2 times 5 gives us 10. 10 times 8 gives us 80. So you can see there where that 80 comes from. Okay. The next step is to try and isolate. So just have a look at what you're doing. We're looking for a value for A. So obviously all of this is attached to A. So in order to find the value for A, we need to get rid of everything else. So we need to get rid of these terms. And how we get rid of those terms is we bring them over to the other side. Okay. So I'm going to move these terms here over to the other side. What I'll do is I'll tidy them up first. It's easier to tidy them up first. So if we say 36 is equal to 25 plus 64 will give us 89 minus 80 cos of A. Okay, so again, we'll just highlight, if we can get this by itself, then we can work with it towards finding out what A is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 89, and I'm going to bring it over to the other side because that will allow me to work out what the value of a is. So when it comes across, it turns into minus 89 is equal to minus 80 cos a. Okay. So our next step is to simplify this. So 36 take away 89 will give us 53. 53. And negative 53 actually, sorry, is equal to negative 80 cos of a. And again, have a look at what we're looking for. We're looking for a, so I need to isolate the a, and how I do that is I divide both sides by negative 80. Here you can see I'm timesing cos a by negative 80 here. So to get cos a by itself, which is what I want, I need to divide both sides by negative 80. So negative 53 divided by negative 80 will give you 0.6625. Okay, so I'm just going to do that calculation there. So negative 53 divided by negative 80 will give us a positive 0.6625. So 0.6625. And you have to type that into your calculator, right? So the last step there, if I want to find a, I need to get a by itself. So in order to get a by itself, here I've got cos of a. I don't want cos of a, I just want a. So I just want a. So in order to get a by itself, I need to get the cos inverse of both sides. So to get a by itself, I need to get the cos inverse of 0.6625. Okay. And if you type that into your calculator, cos inverse 0.6625, you will get an answer of 48.509. So the answer, when you type it into your calculator, is 48.509, 18314. And again, that's in degrees. Okay. So this is the cosine rule, finding a missing angle. And we found the missing angle there to be 48.5 degrees. Okay.